Hello, beautiful ones. This is Lorelei from the Tightrope to 5D Music Reactions. And listen, if you don't know what that is, if you don't know what fifth dimension is or anything about it, just stick around to the end. I'm going to give you a special 5D message. And take it from someone who's been forged in the fires of painful third dimensional experiences and come out the other side. You don't want to miss that message. Okay, today we are looking at Amira Willighagen, In the Stars. So here we go. I hear it's great. She's young hearing this one again.
You said one of your favorite things. You love to listen to me sing. You said I could be anything if I just dreamed it. So
oh my goodness, look how beautiful she is. Not quite as young as I thought, but still pretty young. Let's move it back again and just see how beautiful this whole thing is with the stars and everything floating around, or whatever they are, little, I don't know what they are, just twinkly things. Here we go. Candles, I think.
you said one of your favorite things. You love to listen to me sing. You said I could be anything if I just dreamed it. So I am reaching for the stars. I'll miss your kisses in the night. Both of your arms holding me tight. You said that when I'm lonely I should close my eyes and know that you're right there in the stars. Where you are, I will dare to follow. I can see tomorrow. Where you are, heaven is a song I dare to sing along. I remember what you said.
Let's hear that again, but isn't this a beautiful song? Wow, have you heard this song? Is this a song she made up or she wrote or something? Because I've never heard this. It's, oh my gosh, by the way, like and do go ahead and like, and let me know if you've heard the song or if you know anything about it. Let's go back a little bit. I want to hear that part there. So pretty.
Stars, where you are, I will dare to follow. I can see tomorrow. Where you are, heaven is a song I dare to sing along. I remember what you said before you left me, that you will be reaching from the stars.
So apparently they had to split up for whatever reason, but he said that he told her to reach for the stars, and he said that I guess he'll be back and together in the stars or something like that.
There was this song we used to sing, Amazing Grace, how sweet this thing. You made me promise I won't ever stop believing. Then I will meet you in the stars. Where you are,
just so soft and so gentle and so profound, so heartfelt, I should say. Wow. I've got chills. Holy moly, so beautiful, so profound. Oh my goodness. That just gave me chills. Hold on. There we go. I was first trying to think, like, what was the story here? And apparently he tells her to reach for the stars, but then he says he'll be reaching for the stars when he leaves her. And this is very, very interesting because this feels like a fifth dimensional twin flame kind of thing. This feels to me like, you know, we all have our twin flame, the one that we were born as a soul, and then we stay together for quite some time, but then we break off and we have a male component go off and live different lives, and a female component live different lives. So this just feels so interesting because, like, he's going off to the stars and he's telling her to reach for the stars and they'll meet in the stars. I think this is a twin flame kind of song. I'm not kidding you. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So this is so profound. I can't imagine I'm trying to figure out a scenario here in the earth where you're wanting to come together in the stars. I don't see that. I feel this more like a fifth dimensional twin flame thing. And I'm coming together with my twin flame, by the way, when we get to 5D. He's already in the stars, if you will. Well, he's out in the fifth dimensional reality, if you will. So, oh my goodness. Well, I would love to give this one a 5. But I'm giving, on a scale of 1 being very third dimensional and 5 being very fifth dimensional. Except I got to think about, well, for one thing, I'm giving too many a 5 with this one. but she, like, there is a sort of a little bit of a sadness, a little bit of a pensiveness in there, which let's just pull it back a little bit to a little tiny bit of third dimensional. We'll give it a 4.9 because that pensiveness, that sadness, that sorrow is never present in fifth dimension. You know, we are with the one we love and we're having a wonderful time, and we're not with the one we love and we're having a wonderful time, and there's never like a feeling of loss. So, oh my goodness, but that was just beautifully done. Thank you, Amira, once again. A gorgeous, gorgeous thing. And by the way, if you want to know a little bit more about me per se, you can go to the YouTube channel and go to the description and drop down and find my Patreon About Lorelei page. And there's also a little snippet of a video about me on this YouTube channel that leads to a larger YouTube video about me. So, and what I'm up to with this whole fifth dimensional conversation, and also how it might be of service to you. Some things might be of service to you. Now, this one here also has a beautiful charity called Willighagen. Okay, Willighagen is about happy children become happy adults. And now she's the CEO of this, and she is very active in an amazing thing. And I was just sent a video where she talks about this Willighagen and shows it, and I hear it's a tearjerker. I haven't watched it yet. So I'm going to put the link to that video in there if you want to go check out her charity and maybe do your good deed for the week. So, okay, moving right along, let's get to the fifth dimensional message, speaking of which today is, when will the earth finally be fully fifth dimensional? And that's a really, really good question. Now, we have been working on this transition to fifth dimensional, because this was, if you will, well, first of all, let's understand, for those of you who are new here, we're talking about the shift from the third dimensional earth, the fear, the pain, the suffering, the loss, and all of that, to the fifth dimensional earth, that heaven on earth, that peace, that joy, that love, that harmony, that abundance for everyone. Okay? And this has often been called in the past the age of Aquarius. And we're coming into this right now. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. And it's that thing that Jesus referred to as well, is your heaven on earth is right here where you are. I don't remember the exact quote, forgive me, but something to that effect. So when are we finally going to get there? Now, I first heard this conversation about fifth dimensional earth probably about 13 years ago. At that time, I wasn't calling it fifth dimensional earth. I was just thinking of it as a big shift, a big changeover, right? And then as time went by, a little while went by and everything else, and I saw a video, and it spoke about this fifth dimensional changeover. And that's when I first started to think of it as as fifth dimensional consciousness shift. And that video suggested at the time that this was going to be, I thought, completed by 2035. Now, that sounds crazy, doesn't it? That sounds insane. I don't know that that's at all true, by the way, because in actuality, you can't put a time frame on this process. You can't put an exact date on this process because it's changing with human consciousness. And if we go forward, we go back. We go forward, we go back, and so on and so forth. But we are definitely firmly on that path. Now, at that time, I thought to myself, 2035, it's like 2014. I'm like, oh, I can't make it that far. That's 20 some odd years from now. And now I get close to it. I'm like, we're almost there. We're almost to that. Now, could it be possible that just in this meager, 10 years, we could possibly accomplish such a huge shift? I don't know. Here's what I do know. I do know we're doing it. I do know in cosmic time, it's pretty darn close. I do know there's going to be 3 waves of ascension. So the people that are going to go first are the people who have been on board and watching it for some time and working with themselves to be a vessel for the light to come in and to make the shift and to make the change. Those are going to be the first group to go. And then the second group to go will be the ones that presumably once that happens and they're working on themselves and so on, becoming a vessel. And then a few years later, they go. And then the final wave is the next group that they see that happen and they're working on themselves and becoming a vessel, and then they go. Now, what do I mean by becoming a vessel? Well, I talk about what it takes to, or what is the easiest path to ascension, or what is necessary for you to ascend in one of my other videos. So go back and look at my videos. I'm suggesting that you might want to take a look and watch the messages and kind of string them all together, and you can begin to get an understanding of what I'm really saying here in the whole totality of it. So whatever we're doing, including health, attending to our physical health, our body, mind, spirit health, attending to our vibration, making sure we're staying in a higher place, a happy place, a joyful place as much as possible, serene, peaceful, all those high vibrational energies. All that's part of it, but go ahead and look at that video. It's so difficult to say because as we speak, and I spoke about this in one of my other videos, we're in the photon belt, which means we're going through this area of the galaxy where this huge amounts of high photonic God light, divine light are flooding the planet. And that's causing an upgrade in our consciousness. Now, the more, of course, it's been sort of like tempered so that it's not too much for our bodies. Because in the past, when we went through that photon belt, arguably that was a Noah's Ark kind of situation. It was a situation that tipped the Earth off its axis, arguably. So that's been tempered how it's been coming in. And we've been raising and raising and raising and being able to accept more and more higher vibrational light. And so we're raising and we're raising. And now there comes a big, as we understand it, a really big flash of light. Now we're getting a lot of big flashes of light, but a really, really big flash of light. And it's consciousness changing. It's consciousness shifting. And there's also that 100th monkey effect. So we get that big light, right? And maybe it's just a few big lights and then one really whopper one. And then boom, some people go. And now those people, they also get that big flash of light. So they're going, something just happened here. what's going on? I got to start to figure this out. What's going on here? Because, they were there, now they're gone, and yet they're feeling good because that light's coming in. So they're not afraid, they're not in fear, okay, because they feel that light and they go, something weird just happened. Now it's going to go faster, you see, for those people who are just at least somewhat open to that, right? Now it's going to go a lot faster because they've already seen it, right? Then you get to them, okay? Sometime later, right? You get some bunch of mini flashes, and then you get a big flash, and they're gone. And then the rest are going, what happened? Where are I? And they're not afraid, though, because they got that light coming in. They feel, they're beginning to sense. We're beginning to sense that we are all divine sparks of God. But we're still saying, what the heck happened? Now they got on board, and they start to see what's going on, and they start to do what they have to do. And that's the way the whole process works. And if you could consider like a consciousness shift, you would normally think, oh, that's going to take decades, or that's going to take hundreds of years. And it has taken hundreds of years, by the way, because arguably Jesus and his whole entourage there were some of the first ones came here thousands of years ago to try to assist and move us in this direction. Okay. So you would think like it's going to take hundreds of years to make a consciousness shift of this magnitude. However, we've been doing it at that slow progress because we were not in that photonic belt. But now we're suddenly in that photon belt, and we got this divine God light, this divine God consciousness coming at us. And maybe it's not going to be so very long after all. Maybe it could happen in a decade. Maybe it'd be 20 years. Maybe, 30 years. Maybe the first group goes in a decade. Maybe the first group goes in a week, right? Maybe the first group goes this week. Who knows, right? And then the next group in a few years, and the next group I don't know. There's no way to tell. But what we do know, and 100% for a surety, is that this is happening. And it is something to be very, very much looked forward to be in joy about. Okay, beloved ones, that's my message for today. And I'm going to go ahead and send you that beautiful fifth dimensional light, which if you're watching, it's going to hit you while you're watching it. So here we go. That peace, that love, that joy, that bliss, that harmony, that abundance, that brotherhood coming at you now. Namaste. I honor the God in you. How we love you. How we love you. How we love you. How we love you.